Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Chasing the Card. We got Mr. Des Thomas with us today. I'm James Pratt, and we're going to talk to Mary Lynch. So let's bring her on. Hey Mary, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, Mary, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Good.
Good. Hey, appreciate you being on the show tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, I just kind of want to start off. Des and I were kind of talking earlier and just talking about how you did a lot of things. I just want to know, if you don't mind, how'd you get into fitness? Because one of the pictures I saw of you, it looked like you were just kind of starting out, and then you got to the competition stage, and you looked great. So how'd you get into that?
So years ago, I was a gymnast, and I just got tired of not working out or, having the mom bod. So I just kind of got back into it. I started out slowly with my friend, and then some girl was in the gym, and she's doing bodybuilding or bikini fitness. I was like, man, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I like having goals. And so I was like, I think I'm going to do me a competition. So I found a trainer, like literally within weeks, and started working out all the time.
And when you say that, I kind of noticed that you said okay, so you kind of had the gymnastics background, you had that, you had the beauty, you did the beauty pageants also, is what we know about. So like I say, what do you feel like? Do you feel like doing those things really helped prepare you, like going into the sport of bodybuilding for bikini? Do you feel like those played a role in kind of pushing you into this, or how do you think that's benefited?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask about dedication and hard work. Like I learned that at a very young stage, like I was at the gym all the time when I was a gymnast, and you learn how to, work out and push your body. And so I know I can do it because I've done it before. And the competitions, being in pageants and stuff, I wasn't afraid to go on stage. A lot of people aren't used to a stage, but I'm like, throw on some makeup, hair, and heels and get me out on the stage, and I'm a whole different person. So I wasn't afraid to get out on stage. It's just getting my body there, which I wasn't sure if I think it was 4 months and a couple weeks would really, if my body would be there. But it's amazing how much you can change in just 4 months.
Now, when you started, Mary, the person that coached you from the beginning, is that your current coach too?
So Leah Copeland is my coach. She sends me my meal plans and my workouts, and Des helps me with leg day. Like I have 2 leg days a week, and I work 1 day with him because I feel like that's where I need the most work, is glutes, hamstrings, and quads. So I mean, Des got some great legs, so I'm like, hey, can you get my quads looking like yours?
I'm gonna tell you, if I could pick somebody, if I could just carry him and just FaceTime with him in the gym so he could be with me to do legs, that'd be awesome. He got great legs.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And and it's been a great experience working with you, Mary. And like I say, so you never working with an online coach, that's something that's very common today as opposed to how it was in the past. So with that said, how do you go from basically not being very involved in the sport, not knowing a whole lot about it, just not as much the working outside? Like, how was the experience of you initially just hiring a coach and just jumping right off the bat, getting into the sport, and just not having somebody there initially to train you in the gym, but just kind of giving you a program and just telling you to follow it? Like, how was that, starting off?
Yeah, I guess it was online. Everything with Leah is online. I've never really met her until I started doing some posing classes months into it. So if I didn't know what to do, I could either call her, FaceTime her, and she would tell me how to do the workouts, or Google's a great thing too. So I Google a lot of exercises, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is what they're doing. I might ask someone in the gym, like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I doing it right? So yeah, it's hard keeping yourself accountable, but I knew I was going to be checking in with her every week. And so I'm like, well, if she sees my pictures and my weight's not going down, like, she's going to know I've been cheating and I'm not going to the gym like I'm supposed to be going to, so like that, having that accountability every week, definitely. Like, I send in the pictures and the weight, and I'm waiting for her to say something. I'm like, oh my gosh, is she going to like it? Or, I mean, now I send my pictures to Des sometimes. I'm like, oh, like waiting for their, their approval, like, oh, you did great this week, like, please give me some kind of feedback. So that was like my accountability, is checking in every week, pitching a go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, how did you, I know you touched on it just briefly, but how did you exactly find her? Did you, I mean, I know you were searching, but did somebody know her?
Yes.
Or?
So I was talking to a friend, because I've done CrossFit before, and I was like, man, I really want to get back into the gym. And so I was like, I'm thinking about hiring an online trainer. And so she had just posted it on Facebook. So my friend had tagged me in the post, or I think messaged me or something, and said, hey, she's doing online training. And so I was like, well, that's going to be cheaper than having a trainer in the gym and stuff. And I don't really need someone to tell me what to do, like, at the gym 24/7 or whenever I go. So I was like, I'll just give it a try and see how it goes, and just do it a month at a time. And I told her my goals and sent her before pictures. And so, that's how that all worked out. I just word of mouth. Someone tagged me in it and said, hey, here's this lady. And so I started working out with her.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's cool. And plus, I mean, it's been, like I say, from the progression that you made in a short time, from going from what you were doing, like I say, you have 3 kids, correct?
Yeah, 3 kids.
And 3 kids,
wow.
able to do that and maintain the shape that you do maintain, just being able to present what you present on stage, I say, is really a blessing in itself. And it just kind of goes to show, like, just the work that you've been putting in. So, like I say, as far as your family, do you have anybody in your family just that is athletic, that has just the genetics, that has responded and kind of presented something like you at all? Or do you feel like you're kind of the first to pose this type of image and look in your family based off of everybody?
Well, I mean, my mom back in the day was a cheerleader and did track and stuff, but you wouldn't know that now. My dad, I don't think, was very athletic. I was just athletic from, I guess, when I was little. I did gymnastics from about when I was 4 till I was 13.
Oh, wow.
And then I coached it for a while. And then I even competed at 19 when I was at Auburn. I was coaching. I was like, man, I really missed this. I want to do it again. So like, I took 6 years off and competed again at 19. So gymnastics is just a love I've always had. And I've also played volleyball, basketball. Just athletic. I like a challenge. I like working out.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been competitive in bodybuilding?
My first show was September 21st. I started working out with Leah. May the 1st was my first, when she gave me all of my stuff, and I started really working out. Now, before then, I actually started working out it was before December. It wasn't one of those New Year's resolutions. I actually started it before.
You started before
with my friends. So we were working at Arkansas Children's, and we were working out together. And so she was like kind of my accountability person. And I was trying to eat better, because I know that has a lot to do with it. It's not all about just working out. It's about changing your lifestyle and the way you're eating and what you're putting into your body. So I was kind of already looking at, changing my diet and stuff. So then I just started with her in May. So I haven't even really been training for a year. And honestly, like the Friday before competition in September, I was like, Leah, do you think I'm ready? Like, because I've been watching Instagram, and I'm like stalking all these pro bikini girls. And I'm like, I had never even been to a competition. So I had no clue what to even expect. I'm looking at the pros, and I'm like, I'm not really like looking like that. So I was like, do you think I'm even ready for this? Like the Friday before, I was like, are you sure I'm ready to go on stage? And she's like, girl, you got it. You're good.
Absolutely.
And how did you do in your first show? And was that the All South, or was that the Little Rock, or was that the Arkansas State?
That was the All South.
All South?
Yeah, in September. So I
in September.
did novice division, open bikini, and masters. I did masters because I was 35, and I was like, well, I don't want to be competing against these 20-year-olds. Like, I've got kids. So I put myself in masters division. But I came in first in novice, and second in open, and second in the masters.
Wow, that's great for your that's phenomenal for a first show.
Absolutely, for a first show. And speaking of like talking about dieting, with dieting, okay, so how hard is it on you to just stay to your diet, strict diet? Are you a person that kind of like that that you're just kind of, the discipline doesn't bother you? Is it a hassle? How hard is it that you mentally just eating pretty much the same things every day? Because some people take it differently. Some really are enjoying the whole new flexible dieting a thing that's going on. This is really popular today. Some people, me personally, I'm just straightforward, the same things every day. So I don't have an issue with it. So I wanted to ask you, how is that on you every day, like with your diet, like mentally, just being able to get your meals in? What do you think about it?
It's not bad. Like, I'm one of those people that goes to a restaurant, I eat the same thing every time I go because I like it. So, like, eating the same thing doesn't really bother me. Now, I'm a nurse, so I work crazy hours. At first, I was working only 8-hour shifts, and then I switched to night shift, and I was traveling. I switched jobs in the middle of, getting ready for competition, and I was working some night shift, 12-hour night shifts, and working away in Memphis. So I was always having to meal prep my food before I would leave. But working as a nurse, it's hard I'm supposed to eat like every 3 to 3.5 hours. And some people are like, didn't you just eat? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to eat again. Like, I'm eating smaller meals. And I feel like I eat all the time, but eating the same thing, it hasn't really bothered me. Like, whenever I get a cheat meal, someone's like, I got chicken. Like, no, I eat chicken like twice a day. I'm good with my chicken. Like, I want something different. So, but eating the same stuff and getting my meals in. Getting them in on time is hard, being in the OR, and trying to drink a gallon to a gallon and a half of water. Like that last week when she had me pushing a bunch of fluids, it was really hard being a nurse. I mean, I can't just always be drinking or going to the bathroom all the time. So it was hard pushing those 3 gallons of water. I'm like, you want me to drink how many gallons of water, one day? Like, but it's hard, but I got it done.
That's a lot. That's a lot of water to get in.
Definitely.
Yeah. Shoot. Golly. So how do you, and Des brings up some good things to talk about, because you being a nurse, prepping your food. I don't know how old your kids are, but I mean, how is it where you keep everything? Because for me, when I'm prepping, my wife's making food for her and the kids, and so I'm having to have food over here that's completely different.
Yeah, that's a hard
so
thing.
how do you handle
my
that?
Girls are 13, 12, and 6. Now, I have put the big girls to work. Like, it takes an army, like, hey, I'm going to need you to help me meal prep today. They know how to ground some ground turkey up. They know how to do it. So I have put them to work to help me meal prep. But, I also cooking for them too. So we all kind of work together, and they don't complain about helping me cut my vegetables or help me cook. But it is tempting sometimes. Like, I've gotten them Chick-fil-A or something, I'm having to smell these fries next to me. That's a sacrifice I have to make sometimes. But
that's right.
They don't always eat everything I eat, but they do like the left. Like, if I have anything left over, they'll take it to school, or they'll eat whatever I eat. That's one thing that I've noticed in my girls. They're wanting to eat healthier. They're wanting to look at the carbs, or look at the sugar, calories and all that stuff. So it's kind of good to be a good role model for them and show them, how to take care of your body, and whatever you eat and really matters, and working out and being healthy.
And that's really good that you have that you already have kind of like that support system. You say with them. And with that said, though, how, like say, it being that, with traveling and, like I say, living with your girls, by yourself, how hard is that juggling, the super mom and still juggling the competitive aspects, the training, everything, getting in, just all those things. How hard is that on you?
Well, sometimes, like now, when they're at home because of the whole being quarantined and stuff. So last week, whenever Des was training me, I brought them with us to the park so they could play. So I'm still kind of spending time with them. Like, they said mom like 1,000 times. He was like, wow. But, like I try to work out with them or get them out, I have to spend time with them. I can't just like put them to the back burner because I'm training. But I also, whenever I schedule things, like workout comes first. Like, I have to have my workout scheduled and planned, and you just have to have your priorities right. Like, I know people say I'm too busy, but I'm working 55 hours this week as a nurse at the hospital. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, I have to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning, so I'm waking up at 3:30. So you just got to make your priorities. You know, you go to work, I go to the gym, spend time with my kids, then I go to bed. Like that's my priorities. I hardly ever watch TV. You know, it's just you have to, you know, make gym your priority along with, you know, your family. You got to be. I'm still a mom. I still got to spend time with my kids. So.
Yeah. Now, are any of your girls following in your footsteps? Were they doing gymnastics or the athletic?
Well, unfortunately not, but they were my older girls, I was in nursing school when they were younger. So they kind of missed that getting into gymnastics. You have to get into it at a younger age, or once you get older, it just doesn't work out. So I was actually finishing up nursing school when they were in kindergarten and first grade. So my 6-year-old, I am planning on putting her in gymnastics soon. But my big girls, my 13-year-old called me while I was at work yesterday. Mom, what is like 3 sets of 10 reps?
Oh, man.
And I was like, well, I call her. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm doing lunges. I was like, okay, well, do 10 lunges on this leg, 10 lunges on the other. Like, that's one day. So I asked her today, I was like,
That's
how's
awesome.
your legs feeling? She's like, well, I'm not hurting that bad. I was like, well, then we need to add some weight to it. We're not hurting. But she's looking up routines and stuff. Like, we'll go to the apartment gym sometimes because I can bring them in there with me. So my little 6-year-old wants to get on the treadmill. She's pulling up the like little dumbbells and doing stuff. So yeah, they want to work out. They want to go to the gym whenever I'm at the gym. Sometimes I've taken my 6-year-old to 10 Fitness, and she'll go do the rock climb, and she'll stay in there while I work out. And my 13-year-old has been with me to 10 Fitness a couple of times too. She won't go with me on leg day. I killed her on leg day, so she refuses to go leg day with me. But she likes to go to the little women's center, and she does her little workouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. That's great that they're like I say, they're gaining that interest, you know, kind of from you, and you kind of like setting the tone there. But let's talk a little bit about your future. So with like I said, we know we're going through the apocalypse right now with coronavirus and all that stuff. So I know you had a show set out, you know, that was canceled. Obviously, like I say, we're sorry to hear that, definitely. So what are your plans now with Leah, and just what are we looking at in the future contest wise? And like I said, do we have any nationals plans, or are we really just primarily focusing on the next regional? So what do you think?
So right now we have talked about doing the Vulcan Classic in Birmingham. My home state is Alabama, so I've done lots of gymnastics meets there in Birmingham. So I'm like, yeah, let me bring it back to my home state. So that's May 23rd. So I'm hoping that doesn't get canceled. So that's in the books. But yeah, I've talked to Des some about junior nationals in Chicago. It's just for me it's a money thing, so I have to make sure I can fund my habit. But yeah, I would like to go to nationals or do junior nationals, or I told Des that I was chasing that pro card. I know I'm a little older, 30. I just turned 36 last Friday, March the 20th. So, but yeah, I told him that would be cool to have a pro card, and I did bikini last time, but I'm going to do bikini this next time and do wellness. So I'm going to try to cross over and do wellness this year.
Yeah, because we're really close. Like I say, when I've seen like you and just the progression you made, and then with the pictures and all of that, like I said, as hard as we've been hitting legs, I mean, like I got to say that, you know, you're kind of like getting to where it's like almost, we keep pushing where we're pushing, you're going to have to stick to wellness. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. So, you know, with the more leg dominant, and that's what they like. And so like I'm seeing in some of the shots that you're taking, just the hamstring sweep, and then they have the quads tied into that. You know, like I say, I'm seeing that progression big time. So do you feel like wellness could potentially be on the table for you to go straight just that way? Or do you like the bikini side more? Like, what are you more interested in?
Well, I'm interested in trying, I know my legs are more dominant. They have always been, because I was a gymnast and I was a powerhouse tumbler. So I've always had bigger legs. Yeah. So when they opened that this year, I was like, oh, I think that wellness will probably be for me. But I still think I want to at least try the open bikini and then do novice wellness and open wellness this next time around. Just see how I do in wellness.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Talking about training and talking about going into wellness now, and I don't know a whole lot about wellness. You know, it's a relatively new, you know, division that they're bringing in. So, would you wear the same suit as you would in bikini? Is that how they dress, or
Yeah,
how
I
is
still
that?
wear the same bikini. It's just our posing is different.
Your
So
posing's different.
I've been working on my bikini pose and my wellness. It's not a whole lot different. It's just you have to hit your front, you have to hit your side pose, but you've got to all turn to the right every time, go over your right shoulder, is what I've learned. So front pose and then hit my side, back, side, and then back to front. So it's just how you pose is a little bit different.
Oh, so it's like doing quarter turns.
Quarter,
So you're doing quarter turns.
but you have
Yeah,
to
and
go
I
over
know
the right
the
shoulder.
hand placement is different too, right? Like
Yeah,
your
you can't
hand has
like
to be a
flip your
certain.
wrist out like the bikini girls do. You can't flip the wrist out. It's
Ah,
more, they just want it more down to your side. No flipping the wrist.
The little things you don't notice,
okay.
you know, they're already implementing so they can separate the divisions, you know. So, and then
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot of the girls that do have the bigger legs, the bigger glutes, hamstrings, calves like that are really starting, you know, feel like they have a class now to where they can have that and compete with it, you know. So instead of, like you say, obviously, you know, bikini, you can go so far with that, but at the same time, the wellness, I feel like, is really going to be something that kind of changes the game to get, you know, more girls into the sport, because some really want the big legs, the big glutes and things like that, you know, like some of these people on Instagram have. So now that they've got a new class for it, and actually, you know, this class has been around for a while. So except it's just not been in this country. It's been in others.
It's not been this country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Des. That's
So
right.
yeah, they
You're
were
right.
starting. I think
You're
in
exactly right.
Brazil they were having it.
I think it's Brazil, right?
Yes, Brazil. And so, like, I guess,
Yeah.
you know, because I think genetically, I think a lot of the girls coming from that area, they like are catered more to that. So now they
That's
get
right.
the division, you know, this is it's gonna gain some attention, definitely. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I see you have a 5-star nutrition shirt on.
I'm representing.
Yeah. So
Representing for
you're
my.
representing. That's it. Now, how'd you get involved with 5-star?
So I actually, the first 5-star I went to was when I lived in Louisiana at West Monroe. And so when I came here and I started, you know, training and stuff, and I needed to get something from a nutrition store, I did go to GNC, but then I didn't really like what they had to offer. So I went, because at 5-star, they let you try your stuff, like you get to try your supplements. So I got to try all the protein shakes, find one that I like. Also, like that they have the InBody machine that you can get on and you can track your progress and stuff. And I do my InBody too at 10 Fitness some mornings. Like that's how I was tracking to see where my body fat percent was before competition. And so they're very knowledgeable on supplements and what I need and stuff. So I was using them all through my first prep, and then they were talking to me. They came up to me a couple times at the gym or whenever I would go in there, because I was in there like I felt like all the time. But yeah, they said that they would sponsor me. So I'm one of their sponsored athletes right now. They wanted to sponsor me for this next competition. So
That's great.
I'm one of their sponsored athletes.
And you're also, now you're sponsored by where you get your bikini?
No,
Is that correct?
I do
No?
the Angel competition bikinis is where I got my I've got 2 competition bikinis from them, and then I got my jewelry from, I got it right here, All That Glitters Gems. So I just literally like got all my stuff. I got a robe in, I got all my competition stuff ready, and it came in the mail like right after I found out the competition was. I'm like, man, this is like even more depressing. Like I got all this good, but I can't even like, I'm just gonna throw the robe on and walk around the house like and put my jewelry on just so I can put it on. Like get all this stuff in the mail, and then it just reminds you that your competition was canceled. I was like,
yeah,
that's
definitely, and that's really just really sad, because like I said, with the progression that you made in this amount of time and just getting, where were we at? 4 weeks out when it got canceled.
We were 4 weeks out. Des was like, man, you're looking too lean. We need a whole.
need to back on up just a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
We're really coming in, gonna look like we were gonna peak really well. But like I say, you're not the only one, obviously. I mean, it was several people, you know, on the map that got pulled from their shows. So But like I say, the progression that you made, I feel like, over this short amount of time, it's been phenomenal. So that's the positive here going into the future.
Yeah. Now, have you set a time limit on your competing to get your pro card, and then if you don't get it in a certain amount of time, you're going to step back, or you're just going to keep going until you get it?
I haven't really set a limit. I just kind of go with the flow. I'm kind of laid back. I just try not to worry about too much. I just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Just see how my next I try to just focus on that one competition. So I was focusing on the St. Louis show, and then I had said I was going to go to Tunica after that. So and I'm just kind of let me focus on the show that I've got at hand, and then I'll focus on the next one. So I'm not trying to look too far ahead, but I do have goals, and want to go to nationals. I know that's how I have to get my pro card, but
sure,
just taking it one show at a time.
A lot of the people that I know up here in this area, Northwest Arkansas, that are a little bit younger, they say, okay, if I don't have my pro card in 2 years, I'm done. They think they can have it right then, and they don't really understand, in my opinion. Now, this is just me, in my opinion, but it's hard work. It's not like for most people, you don't get it in your first year.
Yeah.
Maybe you can in your second year, I guess. I mean, when you're gifted, but sometimes it takes a little longer, and it just kind of, I don't know how to respond when these kids, if I don't have it in 2 years, then I'm done, or I'm going to switch a division.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if your mindset was like that, or you're just going to go, because I'm a little bit older. I'm 47. I'm going to be 48, and I'm just doing it because I love to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I mean, if I don't get the pro card, that's not like make or break. I'm older too, so I'm just having fun. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I love having goals and be an example for others. I've had a lot of people that was like, wow, your transformation was so amazing. You're inspiring me to go work out now. And that's really what it's all about, helping other people, and inspiring other people to get, working out or whatever their goals are. Like I've had several people, I've given Leah's numbers out to, or Des, like if you need a great leg day, like Des is your guy, So,
he's gonna be the state of Arkansas leg trainer.
Yeah.
He's gonna have everybody in Arkansas
sure would like
him for legs.
So I was in the grocery store yesterday, just pushed my car along after I worked out, so I still have my workout clothes on. This lady was like, wow, can I just tell you, like, your body looks great, like you're taking care of yourself. And I was like, that was really nice. Like it was really like took me off guard. I was like, yeah, you can say that, thank you. I just want to inspire people and be a good example for my kids and their friends and stuff.
And that's really good.
Well,
and I'll say that like I say, I think it's really good, being able to blend, like I say, the life that you have with your job, with kids and all that. And did you ever think that this would be something that you'd be doing at this point in time in your life, say 10, 20 years ago? Did you ever see yourself doing anything like that?
No, like I never thought I would have abs again. I was like, I've had 3 C-sections, so I'll never have abs again. And I'm like, whoa, I got them. Like here they are. I used to have abs. Like, I mean, I'll see Facebook memories. I'll post, oh, I wish I had that body again. I'm like, oh, well, I kind of do, like I'm not 16 anymore, but, I'm fit like I used to be back when I was in high school. So yeah, I never would have thought that this is something I would ever get into, but it's a lot of fun. And gym's my therapy. Like, I posted on, I think my Facebook, it's like how to kidnap me 2020. It's like got a van. It says I have a home gym. Okay, like, right now we're trying to find a way to work out, and we're doing it however we can. Me and Des just went to the park today and worked out with whatever. I have bands. I have a kettlebell, and I have a place that I can still work out right now with heavy weights. But a lot of people are like, oh, you could just do a home workout. No, you don't understand. I need to go to the gym. Like that's my therapy. So it's good mentally for me to go to the gym. It helps me, it's a stress reliever. My job is stressful, so it helps me out.
Now, exactly what do you do as a nurse?
I'm an operating room nurse. So I work in the operating room. It can be long hours.
Wow.
12 hours, sometimes longer. I haven't had to take call now that was a travel nurse. I wasn't taking call, but unfortunately, I'm not traveling right now because the operating rooms are not doing as much as they used to do because all the elective cases have been canceled because of the coronavirus. So I had a PRN job at UAMS. So now I'm working at UAMS as a screener full time instead of PRN. Like, PRN's just as needed because the OR doesn't need me. But as a nurse, you're always needed. So I went from thinking I didn't have any hours to working 43 hours last week, and I have 55 hours this week. So nurses are always needed. I'll always be busy, and and having to juggle work, kids, and gym life. So and meal prepping.
That's a job in itself, just a meal prep.
Yeah, that takes several hours. I do have an Instapot, and that has been a lifesaver. I can put like 8 chicken breasts in there and cook it in like 25, 30 minutes and it's done. So it's a life changer for sure. I just got it probably about a month ago.
Yeah, it's kind of like what my wife and I do. We have rice cookers going. We have the air fryer going. Every day we're cooking, trying to get food ready.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things when you're in the industry that we're in that we have to learn how to make it time effective.
Yep.
Definitely.
And last week I'm talking to Des. He's blending his bagels and eggs, and it's like, oh my gosh!
I was like, how do you drink a blended bagel with eggs? And I was like, you got bagel on here? And he's like,
yeah. You seen me drink that at the gym before?
I don't do that.
That's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, but when you are client to client and you do not have time to sit there and eat 8 ounces of chicken and 2 cups of rice, I'm sorry. It's like I have a very, very close, intimate relationship with my blender, okay? So that's just how it is.
I could not do that. I could not do that. Not blending up my chicken and drinking it.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't do it. And he's telling me he's putting his eggs in and blending it, put a little water and drink. I can't do it.
Yeah, he did it. He chugged it right before our session. He's like, hang on, let me get this. I got these eggs, this bagel, and then he just chugs it down. I'm like, in like 5 seconds, he's got it down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to throw up.
I'm a trained soldier when it comes to that, okay? I've been through it. I had to start out. I'm telling you, when it comes to getting that in, it's do I want to grow or do I want to just stay where I'm at? It's got to happen. Yeah. So, like I say, I motivate anybody that's lack of time, just appetite, whatever it is, blend it up, drink it down. It takes 7 seconds.
It's going to be 5 minutes and I can scarf it down. 5 minutes. I just need 5-minute break to shovel it in my mouth and swallow it.
Yeah, I would imagine, in your job, I bet it's kind of tough to find the time, though. I would think right now. It's kind of tough to find the time to get the meals.
I don't even get to heat it up most of the time. I've learned to eat my food cold. I'll eat cold chicken and green vegetables all day long, or my ground beef. Like right now, I can do ground beef and some brown rice and a green vegetable. So, yes, I've definitely eaten it cold. I can do that, but not blend it up. But it'll only take me 5 minutes to eat. I can eat fast. I mean, I'm a nurse. We're used to that.
I know it's harder to chew too whenever it's cold like that. It's harder. It's harder for me. Yeah, so that microwave makes a big difference. So, and luckily you're still kind of coming off of that prep high, so your body's really flying through everything. Now, I suspect that whenever we kind of slow down even more, it's going to be a little bit harder to eat that food, just a tad. So
right.
I checked in this Friday. I didn't check in last Friday because it was my birthday and they canceled the show, and I was like, I'm gonna party and eat whatever I want to. But then she's like, okay, you need to slow your roll. We're gonna stay where you're at. So she did change my meal prep and my workouts up a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna try to maintain where I'm at right now until we know for sure the next show's going on. So that's what we're working for.
Have you found it difficult to get all the food you need?
No, actually, the first time I went shopping right after everything happened, and there's people getting all the ground beef and turkey and everything. She was like, let me know while you're at the store. I can change your meal plan up a little bit if you need to. But I got lucky. I hit Kroger like right when they're like pulling out stuff. So I've always been able to get my meat and everything that I've needed. I mean, nobody's getting the vegetables over there. Like the vegetables are always there. I've had actually, I like the Brussels sprouts, and I've had problems finding those, but I'll get organic. I'll pay a little more for it if I need to, you know. But I mean, most of the time I can find whatever I need at the store.
Yeah, you know, up here it's been a little difficult trying to find what we need. So, you know, a lot of us have had to scale our meals way down just to make sure we don't run out of food.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty difficult.
Yeah. Well, I was
like-
using Kroger Click List, and it had everything saved, you know, all my meal plan stuff. I can just click it, but I'm like, I don't want to do that because like you said, I don't know if they're going to actually have it. So I've been going to the store, but I've been, I guess, hitting it right whenever, like literally last time I went, I got the last 2 lean ground beefs that were there. I found one. I was like, oh no. And then I like found it like stuck somewhere else. I was like, yeah, I found it. So yeah, I haven't had, I came close, but I have not had any problems yet.
Yeah, I remember you told me you tried to go to the grocery store before 7 a.m. I think, and they sent you back out because they said it was.
Well, I was just going for some toilet paper, you know, like that was the first time for me to get toilet paper since this whole thing. And they're like, are you older than 60? And I was like, do I look older than 60? I mean, I just had a birthday, but yeah, so Walmart on Tuesday mornings, the day I wanted to go, they are closed from 6 to 7 for 60 and older. So that I was like, well, how about us healthcare workers? Can you give us a special time to shop where everything's not sold
That's
out
true.
by the time
That's a good point. Yeah. No, that's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Yeah. We go to
You know,
work
healthcare
early. By the
workers,
time
I
we
mean-
get off, that's when everybody else, I mean, everybody's been shopping all day and there's nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's a good point. They should make that where that could happen.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you being on the show today.
Yeah, no problem. Like my bedtime's like around 8 o'clock. I got 20 minutes to put. I was
That's
asleep
right,
at 8
that's
o'clock
right.
last night, but I was worn out yesterday. So, but yeah, thanks for having me and doing this. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all again.
You bet.
Thank
Mary, have a good one.
All right, you too.
Thank
Bye.
you.